stars knocking at your door. When the market shifts and the tickets bright, we're breaking it down and getting it right. Real estate moves and the AI flow. Everything you're...
Welcome back to my channel. This is Charlene Randall Financial. So today I want to get into some key points that you may need to know about your business or side hustle. So the IRS is basically intensifying and scrutinizing these side hustles and businesses a little bit more. Now, if you have a side hustle, I want you to watch this video to the end because there are many points that you need to know. If you want to get tax preparation done with us, randallparalegals.com, you can click the link below and get started. Okay, so first of all, a side hustle is essentially a business. So people start off side hustles and for different reasons. And most of the time, because you call it a side hustle because you don't know, where this business really is, intended to go or how much this business will make, or what direction it's going to take. But it's something that you can obviously make money on. But most side businesses and side hustles, people are not really definitive on what this business will do. So that's why people can have multiple side hustles. People can basically have these businesses, and even sometimes people start side hustles to test the water, which is not a bad idea. But I want to tell you, if your side hustle turns into an income generating uh process for you, an income stream, an additional income stream, what you need to do is to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row, because the IRS is scrutinizing and intensifying, as I said, their view of what should be happening, not your view, but their view of what should be happening with side hustles and how side hustles are looked at and are generating money. So basically, the definition of a side hustle: almost all extra income, ride sharing, freelancing, Etsy sales, renting property, all of it is taxable. So even if it's a part-time or temporary gig, that is exactly what a side hustle is. So sometimes you're not sure how this particular side hustle is going to go, but even when it makes a certain amount, you should be ready to pay taxes, because the IRS generally wants you to pay taxes on all of your money. So basically, the IRS has lowered the 1099K threshold. So payment apps, we're talking about PayPal, we're talking about Venmo, we're talking about Cash App. Payment apps and online marketplaces are required to issue Form 1099K. So if transactions exceed $600, so if your transaction exceeds $600, the third party app is supposed to send you a 1099K, right? Because it's subject to um, the thresholds. Now this dropped from 2025. So now the amount is $600. So once you receive $600, the IRS classes your business as a business and not just a side hustle. So once you make a certain amount, the IRS is saying, okay, well, now you made $600. So we, are going to qualify this as a business, but we also need to, we need to tax this business. We need to know exactly how much you made, because these funds are subject to taxes and are taxable. Okay. So people don't understand. Right now, a lot of companies and businesses are using AI, and the IRS is no different. So the IRS utilizes the automated underreporter AUR system to match bank and app data against filed tax returns, increasing the likelihood for audits or discrepancies. So what does that mean? Some people, even if they haven't received $600, let me give you an example. If you haven't received $600, but you still don't report your income, there can be an audit that comes up, and your report, your return can be flagged because the money is not matching. So they use the under reporter matching system, which is basically a computer system that goes in to see exactly what you are reporting on your return and see if it matches. So if you have Cash App or PayPal or Venmo and you just have the money sitting there, um, that may be one thing. But once it transfers to another entity, let's say you go and now you spend it and it comes from your account, it's going to be recorded and it's going to be reported. So you need to make sure that you are reporting this money. Now, what I'm going to tell you is don't hide the money. Make sure you get better tax strategies for your deductions, okay? Because that's going to help you save more money in your pocket. It's not about holding the money in your Venmo or your Cash App, or because they didn't send you you didn't make $600, you don't report it this time. Now, that's something that they can actually look into, right? So this is something you want to make sure you keep records and you keep, information on your income and your funds that are coming in so that they can be taxed correctly, and you'll lessen the option for an audit to happen. So if you expect to owe over $1,000 in taxes from your side hustle, you must make estimated quarterly payments to avoid penalties. So, because your business is making over $1,000 a quarter, you have to make quarterly payments as a business. So, it's different for W-2 employees versus business employees. So, business employees need to report quarterly because it's going to make it easier for you, because you don't want to have to owe when it comes time to actually try to factor in these payments and these taxes at a later date. So the best thing for you to do is to report your taxes quarterly. So we definitely handle that. So if you are a small business and you want assistance with your quarterly reporting, go to randallparalegal.com. We help in all states. So that's what you will have to do. Another thing, I want to talk about is the business versus hobby. So if your business is not making money, the IRS distinguishes between hobbies and businesses. If an activity is done for profit, even if none is made, it still is a business and it still must report it on Schedule C. So you may have a loss if you're not making enough profits, but you still have to follow the correct process as a business. So you want to make sure you understand that. So the best thing for you to do is to keep detailed records, because these records are going to track all of your income in your legitimate business expenses, so you can have deductions that can offset your taxable income. So this is the way that you can do it. So even if you don't receive that 1099K, you still should be reporting the income, regardless if you receive it or you don't. You still need to report the income. So your money matters regardless when it comes to a business, a small business, a side hustle. $600 is the threshold that you have to receive, that the uh, third party app is required to send you your 1099K. But even if they don't, it's your responsibility. Don't just wait on, them to do what they're supposed to do. You can always contact uh the company for a 1099K if you don't receive it, but they automatically know that they need to send this once your account reaches the $600 mark. And the IRS wants to tax every single dollar. So you don't want to make needless mistakes and trigger an audit on your tax return. So some people will try to say, well, this is not income, this is a gift. You have to be able to prove that. The only way you can prove that is, actually by proving it that it is a gift and it is not, in fact, income. But you will have to address that particular fact that this is income versus a gift, because the IRS treats gifts different from income. So it's fine for you to get a gift, but you just need to know how to report that and make sure you can have proof that it is a gift. Okay? Because people, get that a little mixed up with gifts versus income. Is this money taxable? Gifts are not taxable. So that's the difference with that. So if it's a gift, the income is not taxable because it's not income. But if it's income, then it is going to be taxable. So I want to let you know why it's important to distinguish your um, hobbies versus business or side hustle. If you file your taxes and you receive a loss, it's okay to receive a loss, but you have to include that information to have proof that it's a loss, right? Because you can also trigger an audit by not addressing that. Because if you have received a loss, maybe you can classify your business as a side hustle or a small business rather than a hobby. Because guess what? If your business is classified as a hobby for any reason, and you do not understand the difference between a hobby and a small business definition, then you can actually do your return. If it's classified for some reason under a hobby, you can lose the deductions that you made in that particular business as a side hustle. So the money that you got deducted, you will now owe. So be careful of the language and the activity, and understand the activity that you are doing and why it distinguishes business from hobby, because these things matter. So, don't just put it's a hobby because you had a loss. You have to report a loss as well as a business. So, you don't want to report a loss and then classify um, as a hobby. So, there's a lot of things that the IRS is definitely cracking down on, and they want to know, what is taxable, what income is taxable. As I said, some people have multiple businesses, so you have to be able to track all of your income, because that's going to be what the IRS is looking for, to track all of your income. So you just need to understand that the IRS has AI, they're using artificial intelligence to track this information on you. So, this matters. So, the best thing for you is to keep receipts. Keep receipts of everything that you do. I always tell clients, you need to have proof, you need to have receipts, you need to do your due diligence and make sure that you have everything. If you don't have everything, then let us know and we'll let you know what you need to do. So report your income and make sure that you have detailed records and track all of your income to show your legitimate business income and your business expenses. So, even expenses, you want to have proof of the expense that was created for the business, because that counts when it comes to your overall deduction and your overall return. your overall business return. So understand that the IRS has ways that they are doing everything, and they've updated some things. If you want to avoid the risk of having an audit, then you will need to make sure you keep receipts. The receipts are your proof for everything that you're doing in your business. So a lot of people have these other deductions and expenses, and they want to write them off. Do you have proof? Do you have proof, and does it make sense? So I'm going to be doing more videos about what is going on and giving you information about the proof that you need, the deductions that you can write off, your business changes in side hustles and business when it comes to your taxes, and the best way to show everything that the IRS wants to see in your business. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know how you are prepared for tax season, or if there is something that you need to know for tax season. We'll help you with everything at randallparalegal.com. So you need to understand that taxes are very, very important, and it's critical. You want to lessen your tax liability. You don't want to pay more than you have to pay. So this is also for you, not just the IRS. You don't want to pay more than you have to pay when it comes to taxes. You don't want to overpay. You want to make sure that you're getting deductions that you deserve. The best way to get deductions that you deserve is to pick up your phone and contact randallparalegal.com. If your books are a mess, then your business is going to have something most likely that's missing. Or, if you don't have strategy sessions for your business, then you're not going to know what you need. And what's going to happen is you're going to miss out on money. You're going to overpay. You're going to be giving back to the IRS, because the IRS has, a way of assisting you by giving you deduction opportunities. Okay. So make sure that you go to randallparalegal.com or give us a call. The number is on the screen right here. I would like for everybody to have their taxes done the right way. So this is what you need to do. Any questions or comments, please put them in the comment section, and I will definitely be, coming back and talking to you more about these things that people need to know. Some people are not, they're blindly going into do their taxes, or they're doing taxes on systems that are not meant to help them. So you have to, these things are important, and you're actually going to lose money if you're not doing your taxes the right way. So comment, like, and subscribe to this channel, and I will definitely see you in the next video.
You're working hard to build a legacy, but is your tax strategy working just as hard for you? Or are you leaving thousands on the table because of an outdated filing system? Tax season shouldn't be a season of stress. I'm Charlene Randall, the tax boss. At Randall Paralegal Services and Tax, we don't just file forms, we leverage the tax code to keep more money in your pocket, from small business tax strategy to building business credit that actually scales. We handle the heavy filing. What sets us apart? We live in 2026. I teach tax professionals and realtors how to use AI to automate their brands, and I bring that same innovation to file your taxes. We use cutting-edge tech to maximize every credit and deduction, including the new no tax on tips benefit and 100% bonus depreciation. Whether you need tax preparation, legal document assistance, or a blueprint for $100,000 in business funding, we are your strategic partners in growth. It's time to stop guessing and start winning. Randall Paralegal Services and Tax maximize your credits, automate your brand, and own your future.